Welcome to this week's episode. I'm Paula Williams.
I'm John Williams.
And we are ABCI, and ABCI's mission is
to help all you folks out there in the aviation world sell more of your products and services.
Absolutely.
Using video.
Right. So this week we decided, since it is kind of our semi-inaugural episode in our video studio and things like that, and also because on Wednesday we're doing a workshop on storyboarding video, and I hope you can make it to that. That's going to be a live workshop where we're going to actually walk through the process of storyboarding a short video. So you'll walk out of there with something you can use to create a promotional video for your product or service, right?
Sounds good.
Yeah, absolutely. But some people, would you believe, are still not convinced that video is something that they should be doing, right?
That's what they say.
Exactly. So there is a company called Wyzowl, and before we get into what they say, let's talk about who they are.
That might be good.
Right. They are a marketing company that specializes in video. So you could say that they have an axe to grind, but of course anybody who does a survey is doing it to prove a point, right?
Exactly.
And these guys have been doing the same study for a number of years, and it's always turned out to be plausible. You know, that we can't verify their statistics by any stretch of the imagination other than with our own very small subset of the audience,
right.
You know. Yeah. So, but just like anything else in the aviation industry, we have such a small audience that we need to sometimes take bigger markets and look at what they are doing and see if it applies to us or not. And in what ways, yeah.
We try it before we try to tell you guys to try it.
Exactly. And so then we can extrapolate some conclusions based on more data than what we have, because we don't have enough, you know.
Right.
In the aviation industry, one thing happens and it throws off everything statistically so bad that, you know, it's really not useful information. So we take information from wherever we can get it. And in this case, it's from Wyzowl. Okay. So they do this report every year, and their conclusions are different every year, and they seem to jive pretty well with what we see among our clients and among other people in the industry. But some of the things that stood out from their report: people watch an average of 17 hours of video content each week.
17 hours.
That seems like a lot.
That's 2 hours and change a day.
Exactly.
Right?
And if you
3
count,
hours and change a day.
Right, and if you count Netflix and YouTube and all of those things, I guess that is plausible. It seems like a lot. But that is a modest decrease from last year, but it remains a full 3 hours higher than pre-pandemic levels, right?
Great.
So 2019, we were watching 3 hours less of video per week. So that's kind of a crazy statistic. As a parent, you go, oh my gosh, what are my kids doing? They're rotting their brains, you know. But people have been worrying about that since there were TVs.
That's a whole different topic.
Exactly. But from the video perspective, you know, we are thinking about meeting people where they spend the most time, right?
Exactly.
And there are a lot of other reasons that video is very powerful, because we can show rather than tell, because it can't be copied as easily. You know, of course, there are deep fakes, but it takes a lot of very expensive software to do it, and so on. So as for where marketers are posting videos, YouTube remains the leader. No surprise there, right?
Exactly.
With Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram following close behind. Now, this is where I would differ with Wyzowl a little bit, and I would say that LinkedIn is doing a lot more video in the aviation industry this year than they ever have before.
As long as you modify it with aviation, I agree with that.
So, yeah, and you're seeing, well, I mean, of course, you've got a lot of aviation people in your feed, so you're seeing a lot of that as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so verified by Mr. Williams.
Be careful now.
True?
I am no expert when it comes to the topic you're speaking of.
Okay, but do you think it's true that there's more video on LinkedIn?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's more.
Right. And, you know, if your experience is different, let us know in the comments. But I'd be really surprised to hear somebody say that they're seeing less video than they were 3 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So 91% of businesses use video as a marketing tool.
Wow.
96% of marketers, the highest ever, said that video is an important part of their marketing strategy. 70% of marketers who don't currently use video expect to start using it in 2023.
That's this year.
That is this year, right? Exactly. This came out in February, so, this is this year. But it's about 2022, so that's the most recent information. 66% of marketers created live action videos in 2022. And of course, Wyzowl does animated videos, so, people on the screen like this is what they would call live action, even though we're not racing cars or, doing anything all that much fun. But this is still considered live action. 57% of marketers created screen recorded videos in 2022. Those would be things like software demos and things like that, where they're recording the screen to do a tutorial or something like that. Mm-hmm. 55% of marketers created animated videos in 2022. And those would be things like PowerPoint slides, keynote slides, cartoons, animations, things like that. Social media and explainer videos were the top 2 types of videos created. So 96% of video marketers say that video marketing increased their users' understanding of their product or service. That makes sense. Yeah. I mean, whenever you see a video or you see a product or service and you go, how does that work? First thing you want to do is...
Particularly, and you can take this in any thing you want to do. If somebody takes something apart and you see how it's taken apart, now you know how to do it, and you have some expectation it'll work that way.
We actually looked up a YouTube video because our salt and pepper shaker, we have a salt and pepper grinder. We couldn't figure out how to get more pepper into it. So taking it apart was something that wasn't obvious to us. And, even if we read text instructions, it's just not the same as seeing a 10-second video that you go, oh, well, obviously.
Yeah, but aside from that, something a little more involved.
Mm-hmm.
I have a very old Mercury.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to replace the GPS unit in it, which is in the overhead console. And there was one screw that you can take out of the overhead console and then it doesn't come down. I said, well, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
So I looked it up on YouTube. And I'm loath to do that because I prefer a manual. Well, the manual didn't explain it. It said pull it off. Well, it was correct. But the guy on YouTube said, you put a screwdriver up here and you pry down and you keep pulling it like you're going to break it because it feels like it's going to break and then it's going to pop and fall down on your face.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what happened.
Exactly. And that's not something that can be easily explained in text or any other way. So there's a lot of things that make people feel a whole lot more comfortable with your product and a whole lot happier with your product if you can explain it on video. All right. 95% of video marketers say video marketing helped them increase brand awareness. And that makes perfect sense also because that's where people are spending their time. If people are spending 17 hours a week watching video and yours is there, they're more likely to run into you if you are where they happen to be. I think it was Dan Kennedy that said, you need to be in the way of your customers' eyeballs, so wherever their eyeballs are, that's where you need to follow them. If it's billboards, if it's magazines, if it's TV, if it's trade shows, wherever it is, you want to be in their way, right?
Exactly.
Okay. 90% of video marketers say that video marketing has helped them generate leads. Makes total sense. You're a whole lot more comfortable giving somebody your contact information if you feel like you know them, I've had people tell me when they schedule for an appointment with a consultation, they say, well, I have a pretty good idea of what you're going to say because I've watched enough of your videos, but I wanted to talk to you in person, to get that reassurance, to get the feeling that we're doing the right thing. So yeah, that human connection is something that is best done in person, but we can't be everywhere at once, but your videos can be everywhere at once, right?
Exactly.
Okay. What about consumers? Here's what they had to say. 96% of people have watched an explainer or a video to learn more about a product or service, right? 89% of people have been convinced to buy something by watching a brand's video.
That's interesting.
Is that true? Are you in the 89%?
No.
No, okay.
Well, but the kind of stuff I've got, how do you videotape a solid state device working.
Yeah, there's not much to it, but
Huh.
they could do a video explainer.
You can watch somebody go through keyboard strokes, but
Okay. Yeah, and it's not everybody, and we are a lagging demographic as far as the aviation industry. The people who are doing the buying are people who are not early adopters of a lot of technology, but they are using video more than ever before.
Right.
Okay. 91% of people say they want to see more online videos from brands in 2023. 51% of people are more likely to share videos with friends than any other type of content. And I've had people share, even waiting in line at the grocery store, I've had somebody show me their phone and say, you have to see this, that's obvious that we do this as human beings. We like to share what we're seeing, and we like to share things. Mm-hmm. So, and then their bottom line was this. The biggest change in 2023 is the increased use of AI. So the amount of video content available to audiences is going to skyrocket. And when they say video content, they mean AI generated video. And also the amount of text content has expanded even faster, because it is super easy to generate a lot of low quality, horrifyingly bad text in a very short amount of time. And a lot of people are using machine generated, low quality, horrifyingly bad content to optimize their websites, whether it's on page or off page.
Even if you do a little bit of research with ChatGPT, they'll tell you, make sure you validate what it produces. Garbage in, garbage out.
So what this means is that the internet is becoming more and more saturated with poor quality content than it already is. What that also means is that the search engines and everybody else are working harder to be judges of quality, to determine what makes a high quality video. They may not care whether it is machine generated or not, but they do care whether it's high quality or not, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So marketers have to work harder to stand out from the crowd and be relevant. So if you are doing video, you want to up your quality. If you are not doing video and you're just doing text, you want to switch to video, because that ups the quality, right?
Yes.
Okay. So all of this is available. We'll share the link to that and to the study. And I would love to hear what you think and what your experience has been with video and with other forms of content, and what's changed over the last couple of years, and what you're planning on doing differently. And I do hope you'll join us Wednesday for that live workshop. You won't be here.
Nope.
You'll be in Colorado.
Yep.
Cool. But I'll be here working, so if you want to work on videos, you can keep me company, and we'll have a great time on Wednesday in that workshop. It will be fun. So, see you next time.